Rise and Shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
You're on Rise and Shine with Fel and Andy is on location at the Redcliffe Aerodrome, and you've got a pilot, Arjan, there with you, Andy.
Yes, I've got a pilot. He's from Holland originally, Fel, and he's moved to Papua New Guinea as a missionary with his whole family. He's got 5 kids. I just quizzed him and said, do they have television in Papua New Guinea, Arjan? He said they do. But anyway, he's got 5 kids, and he's going to be flying the bird today, and he's just a great human being. But Arjan, we really want to dig into your story. How does a guy from Holland end up being a missionary pilot in Papua New Guinea?
Well, I can just repeat the song, God did it. And that's really what happened. So actually, as a kid, I was already talking about mission and pilots. And my primary school teacher wrote to me that he would expect me someday as a pilot in Africa.
Really?
So his
was that a Christian school or a government school?
No, it was a Christian school, but
Wow.
but still, like I can't remember anything about that phase of my life. But he surely remembered, and he prophesied about that, and it came true. So I wanted to fly from a young age. Never really did anything with it in high school, but then after high school, I had to study something. I went to aeronautical engineering, just following my brother around basically, because he did the same thing. But then looking back, it's all God pointing me in the right direction. And so via my university course, aeronautical engineering, I ended up in a MAF hangar at some point. Did some internships there, and from then I knew I had to become a pilot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, huh? So this is your vocation. This is your calling. You believe God's using you in your role as a pilot.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, when I look back in my life, I see God pointing me towards MAF, and I know I have to be here. Yeah.
Amazing.
Arjan,
Tell me about your wife. I mean, she's obviously on the journey with you. So how does your wife handle this move from Holland to Papua New Guinea, bringing up 5 kids in Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, well, we didn't start with 5 kids, of course. They come gradually, usually. Yeah. Yeah, no, so my wife initially was not interested in mission or moving away from the Netherlands at all. So in my final year of university, I had to do my final thesis, and I ended up getting an opportunity with MAF. And so I told my wife, then girlfriend, that, what do you think? Shall we go to Africa for half a year and join MAF and see what it is like? And if after 6 months you say no, then I'll have to pursue a different dream. But if you say yes, then we'll go for it. And so we went. We got married. A week later, we were on a plane to Africa, and we spent 6 months there working with MAF. Like, to be honest, when we were there, I didn't think it was going great with her. She was crying every now and then and not finding her spot really. But then we came back, and she said, "Yes, this is what we have to do." And yeah, we've gone into it as a couple, and that's how we are still in there. Yeah.
Arjan, that is amazing. Can you tell us, what is life like now for your family 14 years later?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, the kids have grown. So we started out with just one kid when we moved to Australia. So our oldest daughter was only 10 months old when we left the Netherlands. She's now just turned 17 last week. And so she is in grade 11, ready to go into grade 12, and then trying to get into university. So things are changing for our family. So kids are in school now. They've been homeschooled for about 10 years previously by my wife, but now they're in the American International School in Goroka. Mm-hmm. So my wife has got a bit more time on her hands, and so in the last 2 years, she acted as HR manager for MAF PNG.
Wow!
And she really enjoyed that. She did something similar before we joined MAF. In human resource, but not as involved as this time. But she really enjoyed it. And so now we've got an HR manager, so she stepped out of that role. But she picked up some studies in HR, and she's working hard on that and trying to finish that, and then hopefully can find something to do within MAF International to work in the HR business. Yeah.
That is just incredible, Arjan. I just love God using whole families, and even though it was obviously tough at the beginning, leaning into the call of God on your life. You're such an inspirational. Arjan, what we'll do is we'll get you to hang around if you can there with Maverick sitting there on the side, and we might...
Oh, no, we're not sitting, Phil. We're standing.
Oh, you're
we are good to go. Yeah, we're just ready to go.
You are
we're
ready at any
to run
moment.
out to that bird. As soon as the siren sounds, we're running out to that bird. We're getting on board and we're taking off, aren't we, Arjan?
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, dear, Arjan, you're a good sport.
No, I was just saying to Arjan, over the years, the last several hundred years, so many European nations like Holland have sent missionaries all around the world, bringing the gospel and shining light into all four corners of the earth. And Arjan is one of those, a modern-day version of that. But Arjan, tell me some highlights of being a missionary pilot in Papua New Guinea.
Well, yeah, as a pilot, every day is a highlight, basically, because you go up and fly. So yeah, that's my dream. So now it's great to just fly around, but that's not why we're there. Because if I want to fly, I can fly anywhere in the world. And probably PNG would not be the country you choose to live in then. But like I know, and yeah, my wife knows as well. We've been called to Papua New Guinea, as we've been called to other countries before with MAF. Like when we fly, we just not fly for fun. But we fly to serve the people of Papua New Guinea, and through that we serve God. And it's just incredible to see what you can do with a plane in a country like Papua New Guinea. Roads are just basically, they're just not existing.
Yeah.
So there's no way for people to reach help if they need to. So things that stand out are medevac flights often. So you fly into community. Often it's like called in, so people call and then you come and then pick up a person to fly to a hospital. But one that stands out to me is that I had a little box of cargo that needed to go to a missionary, and usually we try to fill up a plane to make the flight worthwhile because it's pretty expensive to fly. But this time I said I just put in the box, and if I can, I'll stop at this place, and if not, then I'll just come back with the box. And actually, I put the box in. I flew to another place first, and then I came back, and I thought I'll just drop into this place. So I dropped into the place, delivered the box, only 5 kilos or so. And then the medical worker from that village ran up to the plane and said, "Oh, thank God you're here. I've got this lady that needs to go to hospital. She gave birth 3 days ago, and something is not right. She's still bleeding." Oh. And I said, "Well, here I am. The plane is empty. I'll remove a few seats, put in a stretcher, and then bring up the lady to the plane, and sure, I'll put her in, and we'll fly her to the hospital in Goroka." So this lady, instead of driving for 5 to 7 days, she could fly to a hospital in 20 minutes. And so again, it was MAF that saved her life.
Wow.
Yeah, because MAF obviously are a link, because PNG, there's so many remote areas. Like you said, there's no road network, and without aeroplanes, there's no way of actually getting people and cargo transported. And you guys provide such a vital link to these remote areas, don't you, Arjan? And on top of that, you also take preachers and missionaries and pastors into remote areas who want to share the gospel.
Exactly, yeah. So, and there's hundreds of missionaries, local and international, that fly out to the remote communities to do the work, to spread the gospel. And actually on that flight, that one box that I was delivering was for one missionary, 80-year-old man who lives with his wife in this village. They tried to retire a few years ago, went back to the US, but couldn't get used to life in the US anymore. They missed their families in the community and just came back, and they're still faithfully serving there.
80 years old and still serving as a missionary. Yep. Amazing.
Amazing. Oh, well, Arjan, we're so thrilled that you're here with us today. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's inspirational.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.